And now I'd like to say a few words about some of the distinctions between the Clavivox and the Electronium that betray the psychology of the one mind that created both of those systems. The Clavivox, again, it's not a synthesizer, but it is an electronic performance instrument in the long tradition of the theremin, the Amartino, the Hertzian, the Trautonium, and many others. Uh, the Electronium, on the other hand, is in the long tradition of the 1929 Couplage Givelet four-voice instrument that was shown at the Paris Exposition, the 1945 Hannert Electrical Orchestra by John Hannert at Hammond, and the 1955 RCA, and which was preceded by Earl Kent's electronic music box. Now, all of those instruments were played by paper tapes, and that is in the long tradition of clockwork and a totally different branch of synthesis than performance instruments. For example, the Minimo, which is a performance instrument. Now, this distinction is cogent or important, pungent to me, because I know that when Raymond, in his early career, had the quintet, the legend is it's legendary that he rehearsed that group mercilessly. He insisted he dictated parts from the piano. He told them what to play, and once they had that all together, he insisted that there be no improvisation. It was, uh, parlor jazz, you might say, but there was not really much improvisation. He wanted to be the same each time, very dictatorial. On the other hand, the electronium was a composer's instrument in which you gave up a great amounts of control. You suggested things to the electronium, and it made up its digits and its circuits and gave something back, and then you would shape that in some sort of way. But in no sense were you controlling the electronium as you would be controlling the typical sequencer. Nowadays, this is 2018 as we speak. Uh, Sequencers offer exquisite control. And a friend of mine once made a distinction between control and power. The conductor of an orchestra has a lot of power. That person can see to it that you're fired if they don't like how you play and things like that. But the conductor really doesn't have much control. Everybody else is playing the instruments. He's waving his hands. So there's this axis somehow. I'm not sure I understand it completely, but it seems to me that the Clavivox and the Electronium, which came from one mind, manifest this sort of duality, of control versus whatever you want to call it, power. So it was the experience of a lifetime to know Raymond Scott. From the first time I met him and heard this music pouring out of the Electronium with seemingly minimal effort on his part, uh, to the ill-fated concept of renting the Clavivox in Nashville studios, to the latter years when he was unfortunately plagued by health problems. And I did see him out in California just a bit, and he was still courageous. So I could sum it up by saying, I will miss Ray. I will miss his honesty, his brilliance, his burning eyes, and I am thankful to have interacted with him.